I invite Mr. Jake Wilms, honorary member of the university, to sing "O Canada."
Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 101st Convocation of the University of Waterloo, the 101st Convocation. We have with us today His Excellency David Johnston, our beloved President, who led the university for 11 years, and also the reason why I'm here today before you as Chancellor. He is now the Governor General of Canada. Let's give him and his wife Sharon a nice warm welcome. We will be honoring His Excellency a little later on this morning, but I wanted to begin with a story, and I promise you I won't mention this another time. This is one that His Excellency used to love to tell when he was president of the university. It's the story of the three parrots. A fellow who wanted to buy a pet went to a pet store, looked at three parrots. He saw the three parrots, and he said, "The one on the left, how much does it cost?" And the owner says, $500. He said, $500? Why would that parrot cost $500? Well, the parrot can work on the computer. So he says, okay, how about the one in the middle? Well, the one in the middle, he says, will cost you $1,000. $1,000 because not only does it work the computer, but it can design a computer system, the Unix operating system. He's a little worried now. He says, how about that third one? Well, the third one costs $2,000. And why does that cost $2,000? He says, you know, I got to tell you, I don't really know. He's never done anything. But the other two call him president. That's David's favorite joke, and they haven't called him Governor General yet. But welcome again, Your Excellency. Here at Waterloo, each convocation is a celebration of achievements of our graduates. And this morning we celebrate with those graduates in the arts, applied health sciences, and social work. On behalf of the Board of Governors and the Senate of the University, I'd like to express my congratulations and best wishes to all of those who graduate this morning. Please savor every minute of today's ceremony and the celebrations that will follow with your circle of family and friends. Today is a rite of passage to an exciting future where you can apply your knowledge, share your expertise, or continue learning. Also, welcome the families and guests of the graduating students. Your presence today is a tangible demonstration of your support and commitment to their success. We will begin with the conferring of honorary degrees and titles on individuals who have distinguished themselves in the academy. We will confer bachelor's, master's, honorary, and doctoral degrees. Finally, medals will be awarded to graduating students who've excelled in their studies. The proceedings will take less than 2 hours, and we ask that you remain in your places until the convocation is adjourned and the academic procession has left the convocation hall. The ceremony blends certain age-old university rites and protocols with a spirit of informality that characterizes Waterloo. We trust that it will be an occasion to enjoy and an occasion to remember. I offer you my congratulations, and as you move from the University of Waterloo, I challenge you, take risks, be unconventional, but do not forget that honesty, integrity, and strength of character should be the driving force in all that you do. As an aside, when I was your age, I was introduced to a book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, a wonderful book that studied success stories of businessmen, doctors, politicians, scientists, and others. The book analyzes the principles behind their success and it explains it in very simple terms, concluding finally with this line: what the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. What the mind can conceive, the mind can achieve. So one day, when finally you've made your mark in this world, make sure that you give back to others less fortunate. After all, every one of us has benefited from the wisdom, advice, and generosity of others that have helped and shaped our careers. So now let me end with a Chinese proverb. And the Chinese proverb goes something like this. It says, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help somebody. So ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this convocation. I think it's going to be a wonderful day, and we will continue now. So thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Catherine Scott. Catherine Scott retired at the end of 2009 after an impressive career that spanned 36 years, most of which was spent serving the institution in senior roles. She's been a champion for the institution throughout her entire career and was the key driver in developing a training development program for University of Waterloo staff. Ms. Scott also provided the vision in developing the basic principles of the UW workplace. These principles are recognized as a template for positive and constructive working relationships within the organization and form the basis for the institution's employee relations philosophy. Through her tireless work with the Federation of Students, Graduate Student Association, student life committees, and other student groups, she instilled principles and built strong working relationships that have been the envy of many other universities in the province. Under her guidance, Ms. Scott worked with student leaders to develop the framework for orientation, Student Life 101 programming. Through her dedicated service to the university community, Ms. Scott has left an impressive legacy of leadership and vision, which is reflected in the university's culture and its positive approach to employee and student relations. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her dedication and contribution with distinction to UW, I request that you bestow the title Honorary Member of the University, upon Catherine Scott.
Mr. Chancellor, I present His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston. The recommendation that David Johnston be granted an honorary degree was a simple sentence in Latin, res ipsa loquitur. The matter speaks for itself. And so it does for those who know David. And for those not familiar with the constellation of his achievements as scholar, doyen of university presidents, fundraiser without equal, visionary, dreamer, and now Governor General, please refer to his profile in the Convocation program. Indeed, his record of achievement and awards, which includes Companion of the Order of Canada, the highest honor this country bestows on a civilian, speaks for itself. So let me speak about the man. Integrity, honesty, honor, trustworthiness are the bedrock upon which his actions are based. Wisdom, wit, and humor are the engine and the grease for his intrepid initiatives. Family, friends, community, and country are what he nurtures and cherishes, and service has been a guiding principle throughout his career. Service to all estates that were within his purview, and now, as Governor General, service to his country and at the highest level. These core values and principled virtues are the man who was Waterloo's 5th president. At each convocation ceremony, it was David's practice to remark on the Latin inscription over the gate of his college at Harvard. A part of me goes with you, a part of you remains with me. David has wrought legacies for Waterloo that will serve future generations and has touched the hearts and pocketbooks of most everyone he met. Indeed, a part of you remains with us, and we know a part of us will always be with you. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of the myriad outstanding and unprecedented initiatives he effected while serving Waterloo as president, I request that you confer 2 honors on this true patriot son, His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and the title President Emeritus.
David Johnston, and President Emeritus of the University of Waterloo, my further honor at this time to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. I extend my sincere congratulations.
I would now invite His Excellency to address Convocation.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, and there are no parrots here, Ferritin. Fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, first of all, let me say about Lois's kind citation that I'm a spiritual man, and as I listened to her, I felt I had to pray for forgiveness not once but twice. First of all, for Lois, who has a reputation for honesty, for taking such great liberties with the truth. And secondly, for myself, for enjoying it so much. I have a couple of props with me here. I'm going to ask you to try to figure out what they are. Those are two of them. This is the third. If I can get this tie off. There we are. So just think a little bit about those as I proceed in the next few minutes. Au nom de tous les diplômés de cette université et en mon nom, j'accepte avec grande joie aujourd'hui de joindre les rangs des anciens de l'une des plus prestigieuses institutions au monde. Voué à l'avancement de savoir, je tiens à vous assurer, au nom de nous tous, que nous saurons afficher avec respect et fierté notre appartenance à l'Université de Waterloo. What I would like to do in these few minutes is to speak to the graduates on what is a very special occasion in your life. Northrop Frye, perhaps the most renowned scholar when I was your age, graduating from university, once at a convocation of this kind said to the graduates, "This is one of the four epic events in your life, the other three being your marriage, your birth, and your death. The difference is this is the only one of the four where you are sufficiently compos mentis to know what's going on, so please enjoy it, and I hope you will." I don't expect you to remember very much of what I say today, but I would hope you might remember these three props, and let me tell you what they are now. The first is a watch, the second is a compass, and the third is a tie, which you can see is a little bit raggedy because I've worn it so long. It's a tie with a very special significance. You might guess at the outset what I plan to do with those three props. Let me begin with the watch. A watch registers time, of course, but it's something that we use to mark our time during the day and to mark our progress through life. And the watch for me signifies the importance of maintaining a balance in what you do. And the best way I can illustrate that is with the story of the wonderful professor. It could have been first-year philosophy, psychology, economics. And he came in first class and he reached into the drawer and he held up a glass jar, which appeared to have nothing in it. He says, this jar full or is it empty? All the students says, "Well, it's empty, sir." Then he reached into the first drawer and he pulled out a little box filled with rocks. He put the rocks in the jar up to the top. Is this empty or full? "Oh, it's full now, sir." Reached into the second drawer, another box which had some small pebbles. Emptied those into the jar. Is it empty or full? "Oh, it's full now, sir." Third drawer, another box, and it had sand. Sprinkled the sand in. "Empty or full now?" "Oh, it's really full now, sir." and then reached to the bottom drawer and had a can of Diet Coke that he poured in. Empty or full now? It's full now. So he said, well, why am I doing this? Nobody answered, and he said, first of all, this is an exercise in critical thinking. When I first held up that jar alone, you said it was empty. In one sense it was. It didn't have any of those quantifiable things in it, but it was filled with air. So it was filled in one sense or empty in another. And then, of course, when I put the rocks in, you said it was full, but in fact there was room for the sand. I put the sand in, there was room for the pebbles, so on. He said, what I'm trying to illustrate by this is, first of all, critical thinking, but there's a larger message. And the larger message is this. Look upon the rocks as the really important things in your life. The rocks are your own sense of self-worth, your friends, your family, your sense of responsibility. The pebbles, well, those are kind of the duties that you do. You go to class, you write your exams, if you have a job, you get there on time, you perform what you have to perform, so on. The sand, that's just stuff. That's just hanging out. So be sure that you fill your jar with the rocks, and then you put the pebbles in and a little bit of sand. Don't fill it with sand and then try to get the rocks and the pebbles in. He paused, good professor that he was, and he waited for 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Nobody said anything. And one student bravely put up her hand from the back, said, but sir, what about the can of Diet Coke? He said, well, that's just to remind you, there's always time to sit down and have a drink with a good friend. Now the compass is a little more complex. The compass is to remind you of the importance of having a set of values for your life. Life is pretty lonely if you don't have some kind of guidelines that conduct you on your journey in life. And I'm not here today to prescribe a particular set of values, but I am here to suggest that you want to live your life for someone beyond yourself, and to gird that someone, that persona, with a set of values that are important, that are robust, that will stay with you through your life and will guide you in the particularly difficult times when you have decisions to make and you stand by these principles. I'm very given to quoting Shakespeare, and here are two quotes that illustrate this, both actually from the same play. They're from Hamlet, and by the same character, Polonius, who was played the fool in Shakespeare's play. The fools often spoke great wisdom in Shakespeare's plays. Polonius once said, ideals are like stars. We can never reach them, but like the mariners of the sea, we can chart our course by them and safely reach our destination. And then later in the play, he was sending his son off from Denmark to Germany to study, just at the age that you are. And his parting words to his son were, to thine own self be true, and it shall follow as the night the day, that thou canst not then be false to anyone. To thine own self be true. The tie. Well, as my friends on the stage here know, I always wear an institutional tie and always have. This is a University of Waterloo tie, and that reflects the loyalty beyond self. It's a great joy to serve an institution like this, especially an institution like the University of Waterloo. In developing meaning in life, it's important to be operating in an environment where you are doing something that makes a lasting contribution to something larger than the self. Service to a university, service to a community, and so on. And the tie I wear with great pride because it reminds me every day of how fortunate I have been for 11 years and 5 months to be a member of the University of Waterloo, and now, of course, hold the title of an honorary degree holder from the University of Waterloo. When I was a Dean of Law for 5 years at Western, I used to insist on one prerogative with the students, and that was to be the first one to greet them on the first day they would arrive. And I would ask them constantly to keep in mind that question of law and justice, or is the law just? And more specifically, is this particular law just, the particular law that you're working on? To answer that question, you must not only understand the law and its evolution, the specific law that you're working on, but you must have a concept of justice, a set of values that I was speaking about when I spoke of the compass a moment ago, to answer that question. And I would say to them, bear in mind that as you enter this profession, you become committed to improving the administration of justice. And each day that you work in this profession, that is your quest to improve the administration of justice. And so your loyalty This is something beyond yourself. And I would say to the students, give 10% of your time to pro bono activities during your course, your lifetime as a lawyer. And I promise you, as much as you'll enjoy the other 90%, and I know you will, you'll enjoy that 10% even more. And I can't tell you how often former students would come up to me at a gathering and say, you know, Dean, remember that first day when you spoke about law and justice and the 10%? And you said how much we'd enjoy the 10% pro bono? You're right. That's exactly right. And that was a sense of serving an institution, the institution of justice beyond oneself. And so I leave that with you. You have a loyalty to this university. As Lois said from that wonderful inscription on the gates of my college at Harvard, a part of you remains here, a part of us remains with you. You are stewards of this institution. Nobody owns a university, but if anybody cares for it deeply, it is you, the stewards. So watch over it in the years to come, make it better for the students who come after, give back to it within your means each year so it will be a better place for those who come after, and above all, bear this flag, which is the University of Waterloo, with great, great pride in your journey through life. Well, 3 weeks ago, I gave the installation speech as Governor General, the theme of which was a smart and caring nation. No nation, I think, has worked harder at being a caring nation than this nation, Canada. It's important that we continue to work hard to be a caring place. It's also important that we work hard to be smart. And the best vehicle for smartness is what we're celebrating today, this convocation. Let me leave you with two of my favorite lines from George Bernard Shaw, which we used as the theme for our 50th anniversary. And they go this way: some people see things as they are and wonder why. We dream of things that ought to be and ask why not. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those directional words to the graduates. Let me say that the faculty, staff and students of the university are delighted to see you back again, even though it be for a very short while. I also congratulate Catherine on her honorary member of the university and welcome Your Excellency to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Mr. Chancellor, I present those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
I will use the authority vested in me and in the University. I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertain.
We have just formally acknowledged the significant achievements of our graduates. And make no mistake, graduates, your achievements have been significant. You have been challenged. You have been stretched. You've invested your time and effort in Waterloo. And if we have done our job properly, you will see a significant return on your investment as you leave our campus. However, as I look around today, it is obvious that there are many spouses, parents, partners, grandparents, and other special people who are sharing in the achievement of our graduating class. In this age of online social networking, when connections can be forged far and wide, we should take the opportunity to remind ourselves of the most important social network of all, our families. Graduates, your family has played an important role in your education, from getting you off to a good start at an early age, to helping finance your education, to inspiring, encouraging, and consoling you from time to time over the years, especially at examination time. For many of our students, particularly our international graduates, your families had to travel quite a distance to celebrate this event today. For others, your family members were unable to be here. We do feel their presence today. Graduates, know that we at the University of Waterloo appreciate the family contributions and sacrifices that have been made so that you can study here. And so, at this time, I would like to call upon the parents, spouses, and families of the graduating class to rise. Please. Please be seated. Now, if you'd like to take photographs, you may do so in the area to the left of the platform. Please enter this area by going out to the left side of the gym and down the hallway. If you approach this area just before your special graduate is about to proceed across the stage, you can take photographs. Once you have taken your photographs, please return to your seat to allow others to take photos of their graduates. Graduates, please show respect to your colleagues and their guests by returning to your seat after being hooded and remaining there until Convocation is adjourned. We will now proceed to the conferring of degrees.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guests, may I please ask you for one more time to join me in congratulating our brand new graduates and their professors, some of whom are here, will ensure that they will be here today. I'm delighted that the man who presided over this institution as president during your years of study is able to be on hand joining in your celebration. His Excellency, the Right Honorable, and now President Emeritus David Johnston, embodies many of the Waterloo's qualities we wish to pass along to our graduates. A commitment to excellence, a collaborative spirit, and a global worldview. During his 11 years as president, he challenged Waterloo, both the city and the university, to give their very best. We responded, being named the world's top intelligent community, establishing ourselves as Canada's Innovation University, expanding our global reach with a renewed focus on international engagement, and becoming the #1 research university in the comprehensive university category years over years. I'm excited at the prospect of translating Waterloo's success over the past decade to the international stage. Thank you, Your Excellency, for encouraging and challenging us. Graduates, by now you may think you have learned all there is to learn from us at the University of Waterloo. However, there are two final thoughts that I would like to leave with you today. So this is your very final, very last lecture for this degree. First, take pride in this institution. In our short history, we have climbed to the ranks of top universities in Canada. Your university, our university, has been recognized as the top university first by a reputation for innovation and for producing the leaders of tomorrow. As I look around me today, I see nothing but the next generation of leadership. We have sought to create an environment that combines the best in the humanities, in science and technology in a way that is relevant to the lives of Canadians in a rapidly changing world. Your faculties and programs are quickly staking important claims as leaders in their fields. I could spend all day, and I'm not exaggerating, talking about the amazing things being done in Faculty of Applied Health Sciences, Arts, and Renaissance Social Work program. But I'm not going to stay here, or I'm not going to keep you here all day, but try to summarize, highlight some of the few examples that I'm sure you'll enjoy sharing. Applied Health Sciences is building our strengths in physical health and gerontology research with the Schlegel University of Waterloo Research Institute for Aging, and diving headfirst into Alzheimer's research. Arts is pushing the envelope for digital media in Stratford, putting a Canadian stamp on thinking in international affairs with the new Balsillie School, promoting excellence in the public service, and tackling the great societal problems posed by smoking. Renaissance School of Social Work continues to lead the way for professional services to society. But the success of your respective faculties is entirely dependent on what you do with what you have learned here. So, secondly, be proud of your achievements. This has been at many times a challenging, difficult journey for you, but today we are seeing the first fruits of your dedication. Our goal here has been to prepare you for what lies ahead, but you have been the most significant contributor to that goal through your own hard work, dedication, and the building of lasting friendship. At Waterloo, we like to say we are connected. I encourage you to stay connected to your friends that you have found here and to the institution you called home for these past few years. As you leave here and begin the next chapter in your journey of discovery and life, recall the words of author and historian George Iles, who wrote, "Whoever ceases to be a student has never been a student." Remember that the completion and achievement of a degree is not the end. It's far from it. Education is a lifelong enterprise. The creativity, the willingness to take risks, and the spirit of collaboration that you have all demonstrated as students will serve you well in the years to come. So, one more time, I extend my congratulations to you, leave you with these thoughts, and thank you for the job well done. A couple of short housekeeping notes. Graduates and their families, they are invited to an informal reception in the Great Hall of the Student Life Center, which is right behind us. And we would love to see you there, talking to your graduates and your faculty members or other guests. Although Renison College graduates and their guests are invited to join us, but Renison has a different event for them. They are hosting a luncheon for Renison graduates and their families immediately following the convocation. Please gather outside and follow the piper and the Renison flag bearer over to Renison. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we adjourn the convocation, I'd like to once again recognize the David Johnson, and his wife Sharon. Let's give them a nice to recognize Amit Shah, who was the provost here for many, many years and now president of the University of Western Ontario. As I say, our university unleashes talent, and here's the talent that's being unleashed today. Of course, it takes great faculty, great presidents, great provosts, and I want to take the opportunity to recognize the president, President Mandela, and his provost, Jeff McCoy. And of course, all the faculty who have supported in training our graduates. So let's recognize them. God bless you, graduates. The Convocation